In 1930, the economist John Maynard Keynes made a prediction. He wrote an essay called Economic Possibilities for Our Grandchildren. Looking at compound interest and technological growth, he calculated that by the year 2030, the standard of living in developed nations would be 8 times higher than it was in 1930. His math was correct, but his conclusion was wrong. Keynes believed that once basic material needs were met, capitalism would choose time over extra income. He predicted a 15-hour work week, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. He worried that humanity's biggest struggle in the 21st century would be to figure out what to do with all our free time. Keynes was right about the productivity side. Output exploded. Computers, the internet, modern logistics, and automated manufacturing multiplied what a single human worker could produce in an hour. For a few decades, reality followed his predictions. Between 1948 and 1973, worker productivity in the United States grew by 96%. Over that same period, real hourly wages grew by 91%. When workers produced almost twice as much per hour, they earned almost twice as much. The work week shortened from 6 days down to 5, standardizing the 40-hour week. But around 1973, those two lines separated. Between 1973 and today, net productivity grew by more than 60%, while typical worker compensation grew by only 17%. Workers became vastly more efficient, but the return on that efficiency changed directions. Increased productivity no longer bought shorter working hours or higher base pay. Instead, these efficiency gains were captured as capital profit. That extra value flowed back into corporate earnings, stock buybacks, executive compensation, and dividends. At the same time, the baseline costs of survival also shifted. Essential goods like housing, healthcare, and higher education outpaced general inflation for decades. Maintaining the baseline standard of living required working the same hours or more, even as individual economic output hit record highs. There are two main forces that kept the 40-hour workweek in place. The first is employer incentives. In many systems, health insurance and benefits are tied directly to full-time status. Paying one employee for 40 hours is cheaper for a company than paying 2 employees for 20 hours because benefits carry fixed overhead per person. This system rewards long individual shifts. The second piece is leverage. When labor power declined through weaker unions and deregulated labor markets, working hours became non-negotiable. Individual workers could not trade productivity for time off without risking their jobs. Instead of trading efficiency for leisure, businesses absorbed the efficiency and kept the schedule. Keynes assumed that technology would automatically solve human labor. He viewed the productivity gains as the result of a physical law. He missed the policy component. Technology creates potential options. Politics and ownership dictate which options get chosen. A 15-hour workweek was technically possible with the productivity gains of the last half-century. The hours didn't stay high because the work required it. They stayed high because efficiency gains were distributed as profit to capital rather than time back to people.